folks, well I am ready, so let's go ahead and just get this all going. How we all doing today? I hope we are all having super great days. We are ready to make some awesome stuff happen. Oops. We didn't move this, did we? Of course we didn't. That would have been way too smart. And yes, we do. We have lights, camera, action. Here we go. Come on. Shoop. Why is that so loose? Nah, whatever. We'll just be careful. Famous last words, right? So we were going to start with some RPG heroes, but instead, as promised to Feisty Claws, we're actually going to start with this dragon. Doing some stuff on it. First thing, we don't need this glove, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fix this big old mold line right there. Just a little bit of milliput. Cool thing about milliput is it allows you to fill in the gaps of your model, kind of sculpt away things like this. I don't have any actual official milliput, but we're going to use some Tamiya basic type putty, and then just some sculpting tools. Since it's a putty, I prefer to use the metal set here. Yeah, we'll use the metal ones instead of the wood tools. I find that using wood tools on something as fast drying as basic type putty just ruins them real quick. Oh my god, you want... Yeah. Yeah, this was a good one. This one I got, so I tried to 3D print it myself. It was just a little bit too big for my 3D printer. So I ended up getting somebody else to do it for me on Etsy, but it was very expensive. More money than I normally pay for a model, especially just one that I'm going to paint and probably give away or something to a local store or an after-school club. But I wanted to do something fun for the, I think I was celebrating at this time, 50 followers on Twitch. That's what this guy was for. So, actually, we will go ahead and grab this. Last time I saw you and you said you were organized, you went out and bought bookcases. Yeah. Well, the bookcases are for non-hobby related things, so I feel like I didn't lie. They were just kind of personal things. I didn't buy bookcases, I made them. It's two totally different things. Okay. So, it's way too much. Let me get this out there. Do not need a lot for this. Basically the goal is just going to be to fill up that little seam there. without getting cat hair in there. The issue with this is this stuff does like to dry very quickly, so. Now we're gonna go ahead and just blend it in here. No, he is not broken. He is, so this right here, this line, you can see where the wing connects. So normally I don't worry too much about these, but these mold lines, something like this, even when the model is painted and completed, it'll really stand out. So what I'm doing now is I'm just minimizing that a little bit by filling in that gap. And that gap was just caused when we glued and drilled some holes and applied a metal pen to the inside of this wing because it's a very large part and it required a very, very sturdy foundation. I'm not going to bother with that little crease inside there on the inside of that section, nor am I probably going to bother with the inside of the wing. You won't really see it when the model is in his final pose. But I want to paint this section tonight. You can't really paint if you get these giant mold lines. And you can. At the end of the day, it's totally up to whatever you think is good enough. I wanted to put a little bit more effort into this guy than we normally do. There we go. Cool. Nothing crazy. There we go. Boom. Done. Ta-da! Ah! She sees. So I can actually send you the STL for this. So this was the Lord of the Print blue dragon. If you go on like Etsy or any of those kind of equivalent websites, you can find people that will 3D print them for you. This size and this model was, I believe, $90 or $85. And it appears as though you're out of Pokeballs. Ah. Oh no, if you want the Dragonair, you gotta buy a Pokeball. It's a Poke Shop, and then you type in Pokeball and how many you want. Please remind you not to play Pokemon in here. Oh, are you getting a little bit addicted? You're finding other people? That's fair. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the inside color of this wing corrected. That oil yellow paint was a little bit much. First thing we're going to do here. Go ahead and just grab a decent sized brush. We don't need anything crazy small. We're just looking for a nice sharp tip. It doesn't even need to be a crazy good tip on this, because these are, again, base coats. No balls. Oh no, you gotta buy the Pokeballs with your Pokedollars. We're just going to go ahead using a thin layer here. Want to make sure that we don't accidentally gunk up any nice cool details of our model. So just keeping our paint nice and watered down. So I like these big thicker brushes. They contain and will hold a lot of moisture for us. And we'll just go ahead, get all the way down here. Careful with the spike because they're apt to break off. The only issue that I had with the guy that 3D printed this one was this one spike broke off, but that's alright. I believe you can go buy the STL for this for like 20 bucks. But then you'd have to print it yourself. There we go. We're going to keep washing our brush. One, to make sure that we're keeping a good amount of moisture in the bristles of our brush to go along with our paint and our wet palette. And also to make sure that we aren't trying to apply any gunked up dry paint to our models. It's the last thing we want to do. Yeah, the yellow was an attempt of mine to use an oil paint to quickly paint the insides of the wings to go from blue to yellow, which actually worked pretty well. We're having a little bit of a darker tone on the inside, but I wasn't really happy with using the oil paints on it, so I decided to go back to the acrylics with this. It was just too yellow. But yeah, so it kind of is acting a little bit like a base coat. The whole thing was primed in blue when we started. I primed it with a nice blue primer. It's just this color right here. It's okay if you overpaint a little bit, especially on the underside of wings when you're applying base coats. If you're painting something huge like this, don't sweat the little stuff. Like this right here, I went up on there a little bit. One, no one's ever going to see it. Two, I'm probably going to correct it in future coats. No need to sweat. Googling dragon kits. Hey, they're pretty good. You even have like if you look up a brand called Whiz Kids, Nolzors, no, not Nolzors, Whiz Kids Pathfinder battles. They do pretty good dragons for a pretty reasonable price. We painted one of those in the channel not too long ago. Actually, recently got sold on Etsy. It's a good, I think it was like $30 American, which definitely beats the $90 American that you pay for something like this. I actually have another one of those sitting over there, the green dragon. I like painting it so much I wanted to paint it again. Let's go ahead through here, get some of these areas. They're particularly still, not yellow. Good, less concerned about the bottom of the wing. Can't type again tonight, Googling dragon kits. Saw that again. It's funny. I mean, yeah, here is, let's see here. So this is the other one. We're gonna go to My Mini Factory. Let's see here. This one was Lord of the Print. Here is a link to their store. And then they have a collection that is, if you go to collections, they have a dragon collection. It's got 30 objects in it. I guess I could just do this. Well, wait, go back a page. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. To just transform this and fit it to screen. Alright, so here's a good example. Let's see, where is it's the ancient red, that's the adult red. Where's our blue dragon? Here he is. Blue dragon. The STL file by itself is 20 bucks. Absolutely amazing deal. And what's cool about this is when you buy one of these, what you actually get is all of, am I actually capturing this window? No, I'm not. I want to capture the whole screen. There, whatever. So when you actually purchase one of those STL files, you actually get all of this, which is all of your individual parts split up into a bunch of different little pieces. So it makes printing it really, really easy. I just have a really, really tiny 3D printer. So even the 20-something pieces a lot of these come in was just a little bit too much for my tiny little printer. Like the wings were just too big, even the smallest pieces. But I'm not kidding. I have like a very small 3D printer, like the Photon Zero. It's a very tiny build plate. I use it to print like Hero Forge minis. But if you go to like object parts, yeah, here you go. Here are all the different pieces that you get. Some of them already come pre-supported. Most of them actually come pre-supported by a professional engineer for Lord of the Print. The one that I've been trying to print is, now what do I call it? Tiny? I have the Photon Zero, which is pretty much the smallest 3D printer you can get. It is, yeah. I would say that, yeah. So I would get your better half there to print something for you. Like here's a good example. Please don't play the video. Any Photon Zero, and then the Anycubic. The Anycubic can print any of these at their normal size for the most part. I think that's what they aim for when they design and they split these up into multiple parts. I love this green dragon, by the way. Absolutely adore him. I think they design it so that like for a photon size 3D printer. And even then, if it doesn't work, you can just scale it down like by 10%. I kid you not. The one that I actually bought and I've never printed is this white dragon. Where is he? This one. So I bought this and I've been failing to print this for about 8 months now, and I'm about to give up. But yeah, they're 20 bucks. So what is 15 pounds sterling, or yeah, 15 pounds. What is happening here? We still alive and everything? Yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry, little tangent, but we can go on little tangent when we only have one viewer. Oh no, we also got Copper Top. Cameron, say hi if you're actually listening. Oh yeah, actually not, like, if you really want to go like above and beyond too, like if you check out their Patreon or like that My Mini Factory, they have all kinds of packages where you can get like a bunch of stuff. Like I got a pack when I first got my 3D printer. I got their Illithid, which if you're familiar with like mind flayers in Dungeons and Dragons, it was like a bunch of different mind flayers and Illithid-like creatures. It's really, really cool. Go ahead and hide a little bit of this yellow here. Oh, and the other thing about this model, the reason that we are painting this all by brush is because I had a request to do this guy with a brush instead of using the airbrush for any of it. Normally I would be breaking out like maybe a little bit of masking tape and an airbrush to speed this along a lot, but I did get a request to paint the Lord of the Print Blue Dragon by brush. So I said, okay. Didn't really question it, but sure. I don't want to paint that yet. Alright, next thing we're going to do is add a little bit of edge highlighting here. We're going to start off right now with just a little bit of a teensy bitsy little bit of a dry brush. So we're going to go grab our super cheap MSQ dry brushes. Makeup brushes. Don't ever buy a dry brush, people. And a lot of people and YouTubers that you find that recommend miniature painting, they'll say just use like an old brush. I'm not a fan of that. I think it gives a very distinctive, different look. But when most people want to use dry brushing techniques, they're not looking for that specific, like, etched metal look. What they want is what you get when you use, like, a thick makeup brush. And we're just going to use, again, Helium Gray to dry paint. We are not going to be using tissue paper or paper to get the paint worked into our bristles. As always, we're going to use a flat surface, which in this case will be the top of our wet palette here. So let's actually get this up a little bit. Yeah. So grab a little bit of our paint here. That's a lot of our paint, so ooh, that's way too much paint. I'm gonna go ahead and get it all worked into the bristles here. Yeah, it's a lot of paint, so I'm gonna work some of that off there. Okay, there we go. And then here's our model. Just going back and forth. So for this section, we're gonna go mostly up. And let's just do this end of the tail here. Always practice on something. There we go. And we're almost there. Just going to go ahead and get the tip of the tail here. And the reason that we're going to use a hard, non-porous surface is because we don't want to super dry out our paint, because that gives, again, that very distinctive different look, which when you look up guides on dry brushing, folks, is what you're usually looking for, what you're usually wanting to get. But it's funny, Ninjion just did a YouTube video about this, and he talked a lot about dry brushing techniques, and even talked to a guy that's won a Golden Demon, which is a very prestigious miniature painting award, and is considered a huge expert in the realm of dry brushing. Let's see, I want to try this, but I don't want to do it in a really important spot. Let's see what this helium green looks like on the... Perfect. So what we're going to be doing here is applying the helium green to the light blue sections here, and then they get a wash, and then yeah, so it won't end up being this a stark difference in color. Just a little bit of a difference in color. Trust me, I'm a semi-professional at this. I have a tax ID for miniature painting now. Let's do it. Okay, cool. Nice, nice, nice. All right. So we're gonna then clean our dry brush off a little bit here. And there is our dry brush. Now, if you wanted to call it done here, that looks pretty good. It definitely does look pretty good. Do not get me wrong. You can be done there. We're gonna take it a little bit further here. What is going on here? Hey! Hey, look at that. We got a new favorite on the Etsy shop. Looks like somebody favorited one of the items that I'm selling from his live stream that we did a few months back, guys. Actually, that's pretty old. That one was one of the first ones we did. The Acolyte, when I was attempting to do everything in order. Alright, cool. Now it's time to break out the actual, like, heavy-duty miniature painting supplies here. So we're gonna grab a nicer brush here. This is the Army Painter Regiment brush. No, not nicer, just one with a little bit of a better tip here. Soup. Okay. Hey. And let's go ahead and grab our super highlight color, which is going to be Verdun. It's a fun color name. Oh, so I downloaded Feisty. I downloaded 7 Days to Die, but I haven't played it yet. I was busy doing some other stuff around the house. Okay. And this is just, again, a little bit brighter than this. Yeah, it's downloaded and ready to play on Steam. I might give it a whirl tonight after stream. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of detailing here, and then we're going to move on to the next thing on the agenda, which is our RPG heroes. I like to try and keep things moving on the streams, otherwise I end up just sitting here painting the same little thing without anything really to talk about, and I have a lot of projects going on at any given point in time. I like to strange. Am I going to stream it? Oh, as in the game. I've never streamed a game. I guess if I moved my camera over there, I could try it. But no, I've never actually streamed a video game on Twitch. If I could, I would totally stream a couple of my mobile games that I play, but BlueStacks really isn't an option for the game, and the one main game I play, and I'm having issues with trying to find a good emulator. What is... Ah! Yep. Our wet palette is dry. Drink. Drink up my wet palette. Do it. There's a sponge underneath this paper here. And I'm just squirting a bunch of water into the thing. But I do hope you like it. Yeah, no, I really liked what I saw. I'm definitely going to give it a whirl. If I do stream it, it'll be here on Twitch. I mean, if I do end up playing it tonight, I will probably stop this live stream, kick off the YouTube live streaming, and then move on to just using Twitch. Oh, sorry, everybody. This is the Xenos Ace water mug. It's a pretty cool streamer guy. Water mug. Okay, so here's where we're going to be very, very particular about the consistency and control of our paint. Earlier when we were talking about things not really mattering, this is where we save our time for. And why you do things like this on a good hand day. Like today, I'm having a pretty good hand day. I haven't had a lot of shakes and stuff. Actually, knock on wood, I'm actually gonna turn the space heater on here. Warm up my hand a little bit. Go ahead and get some pain medication in the old mouth here. Ow. Yeah, there we go. Alright, and then... Okay. Let's see, what we're going to be doing is just applying a little bit more of a highlight here. Picking out... Okay, let's start down here. Ah, there's so many little pointy bits on this guy. I don't know how I'm going to paint that red dragon. Feisty, I will show you the red dragon here in a second, after I finish these 3 scales. Oh my god. The red dragon is, I don't know, I'm going to have to use primarily airbrush techniques to paint it. I can't imagine a scenario in which I'm going to be able to ever get to almost any part of it with a normal brush like this. What we're doing here is we're just adding striations and accentuating that top line here. So not so much at the top. Let's see if I can get some of it. I'll be right back, actually. So the gist of this guy is actually pretty much everywhere where this blue dragon had scales, this guy's got fucking spikes. And like, they're sharp. They're not sharp enough to actually hurt you. Actually, I mean, like, yeah, if I think I could break the skin if I pushed on that hard enough. But they're just so, let's get a flat surface behind this guy. He is so sharp. That is exactly how I would describe this dragon, is sharp. So this one we are 100% going to be using the airbrush for a lot of it, I'm sure. Because, like, even this little bit of handling right now, like, I keep getting little pokes. And then oh, clink. I need that, actually. Poke catch. I'm gonna try and catch that. And let's go ahead and Poke Shop. Pokeball? Buy some Pokeballs. Alright, and then here's his wing. So this guy is actually a little bit bigger, wingspan-wise, than the blue dragon. And you can see this is why we support the model by drilling holes in there and pinning them with a metal rod to just add a little bit more stability. Because this wing is actually heavier than the model. This wing and its sister on the other side are each heavier than the model itself. And it'd be a big ass to ask just some super glue or something to attach that right there. Send your autograph with it. Pay for postage if you sent your autograph with it. I need to figure out international shipping. I think I'm doing something wrong. I'm gonna be honest. Or I know for a fact that Canada's tough because it's a super rural area and not a lot of mail goes to Canada from the US. Or at least not a lot goes to all the parts of Canada. It's a very spread out area. And I might need to look at other carriers. Like, if I said, like, you have, obviously, your normal post, like, but do you just have FedEx and UPS that deliver to your country? Internationally, like when you buy something? And what we're doing here is, let's bring this up here so you can see. Just attempting to take the tip of our brush and not do exactly what I did there. Whoops. Mistakes happen. Am I on camera? Yeah, I'm close enough. I'll check it out as well from my end. The biggest issue I have is I can't 3D print these. But I will, like that red dragon is actually, okay, so Where's Shadow? Oh, damn it, I forgot to sell Shadow that I was streaming. Shadow is the entire reason that I still stream. Oh no, Shadow. So that red dragon is hilarious because it was originally I was painting. Shadow is the first person that ever started watching my streams regularly, and he is probably consistently the only person that is ever in my streams, and is just an amazing person. So I want to do something nice. I said, hey, so pick out a red dragon. I would love to paint it for you for free. And he picked one out, and unfortunately the one we picked out was shipping from some sketchy seller in Romania. It was just basically a scam. So after about a month of me messing with that, I switched to the same guy that shipped me this blue dragon, thinking, okay, well, I've bought something from this person. I know what I can expect. Well, this where it gets great. So depending on the size of model that you bought, there's obviously sizes, he actually changed the sculpt and the pose, and I didn't notice. So on the $40 version of the model, which was maybe about yay big, was the correct pose that Shadow had originally selected. But the bigger pose, bigger size, this size that I wanted to paint for him, that red dragon size, is the dragon that you just saw. So again, after several months and attempting to purchase the model twice and actually successfully purchasing that one for $90 US, I still don't have the right model, which is why I ended up buying the $20 STL file and attempting to print it myself. And that's not working out, so I'm working on it still. I have a buddy that once he finishes moving, he'll probably be printing it for me. But oh my goodness. So I've spent about $120 trying to send Shadow a free model. And I'm this close to just paying the another $90 to have the correct model from this guy printed and sent to me. Absolutely insane. Because the second purchase was entirely my fault. I mean, like, he did a sketchy thing, but like I should have paid more attention when I was checking out. You see these little highlights you can see there? The couple of scales that we've done them on. See how much better they look? It's a process, but these kind of highlights are what really make your model pop at the end. So I have a couple more of these in me. I'll go ahead and do just a couple more. Go ahead and do this one. The technique that we're doing here, you can tell in the brush, is just kind of going and wherever there's an edge or a striation, just kind of using just the tippity tip of our brush, applying a little perpendicular brush strokes. Some nice thin paint, maybe working on some highlights here. Then you can use a little bit more watered down paint to apply some little edge highlights here and there. Nothing crazy, just adding a little bit of difference here. Yeah. Just like so. So imagine, actually I love using this thing as an example. I need to flip this mat over, but you can see the squares here. Imagine this is the thing that we're painting. So this was our base coat, and then we're going to cover almost all of it with the next layer, which is our, like a layer paint. The next layer is going to be highlights. The next layer would be like our dry brushes here. And then the next layer, the final layer, is this kind of little bit that we're doing here. And when you put it all together, you get all the layers. Hey, Shadow! I was just telling the Greek epic that is me attempting to paint a red dragon for you. Or sorry, paint a white dragon as a red dragon for you. It's a story as old as time, and that has aged me greatly. Shadow, whose stream did I see you in the other day? Xenos's. I think. Is that you I saw in there? Oh yeah, because you weren't the Shadow that Big Sugar usually watches. Yeah. I like Xenos. I've actually been hanging out with him a lot. I even bought his coffee mug. Basically, when I was sick, I was just watching a lot of Xenos and talking to him on his Discord and things like that. This right here, I can barely make out this scale. So we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of striations here. And now, bada bing, bada boom, you can actually see the scale. I hate that. So we're going to add a few more defined lines here. Ah! There you go. I'm going to close up on these. There we go. As you get into the nitty gritty, you can kind of see more so what we're doing. Just kind of going down, edge highlights on the really towards the tips there, and then just moving down the line. Not quite all over, not quite not all over, and then just kind of accentuating these. There is a little bit. Shadow, how did you find my stream again? Was that Josh Strunk? Oh yeah, I was painting the dinosaur. Yes, this angle is going to get weird here. Alright, and there is our 1,000-yard view. And then we say enough of that. Yeah, I do love that look, honestly. I was debating whether or not I even needed to go in with the Verdant, and I was honestly, frankly, worried that this paint wouldn't even be usable because I've had it for 4.5 years. No, longer. Like 7 or 8 years, and I've never really used it for anything. So that includes like the 5 years that it kind of sat in a drawer where I wasn't painting miniatures. Because like I bought a bunch of stuff, I kind of painted miniatures, like I painted 4 or 5 guys, and I packed it all away for like 4.5 years, 6 years almost. And then about 1.5 years ago, I started actually painting miniatures in earnest. But make sure that the tip of this brush stays pretty good. We're going to take a real quick 3 minutes, and I'm going to switch gears and get something else set up here. We're going to change up the schedule a little bit. We're going to do terrain project next. Just use that's going to be a 2-parter, and the first part is going to be prepping some stuff, which we'll do here, and then the second part is going to need to be done pretty far after. So, give me 5. I will be right back. I just need to clear away some of the painting stuff. Enjoy this screen. Hey, most recent follower is Rhino. Oh, from your stream, Feisty. Nice. Whoa, jeez, that took longer than I thought it would. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Did a couple of things there. And now I can actually see my camera. Let's go ahead and get this in there a little bit better. Thank you very much, Shadow. See here. Let's get this back. Come on, work with me here. Alrighty. I need to build a new desk. Or I just need to build a desk for myself. I think I'm just waiting until I start making a little bit of money off of either the Twitch or the YouTube before I commit to good cameras, and then that means like making sure that I have like the proper mounting equipment that I want to use permanently, things like that. Well, yeah, the bookcases were just personal. This is for business, for good enough painting. Ugh. Yeah, there's my face. And the back of my neck. I mean, I like building stuff. Alright. Okay, so for an upcoming YouTube video, I bought a bunch of hamster tubes as a joke. Won't get into that. I'm a weird guy. I did it as a bit. It was fun. But now I have a bunch of hamster tubes. And the issue with that is I don't own a hamster, nor will I ever own a hamster. So the goal is to not have this just be literal garbage in my house. And I figured, hey, that kind of looks like a sewer pipe. Let's do something with this. And that's what we're going to do. Right here, we're just practicing. I'll make a YouTube video on this in earnest. But we're practicing a couple of different techniques here. Just to see what works. Does this even... Okay, well, wait. Yeah. Go ahead and... Yeah, there we go. I don't know if this cuts. Okay, it does. Okay, cool. So I was going to break out the hand wire cutter, but then I figured, this is something I might be able to use the Proxon for. Okay. And I also have... Normally I would use pink foam, which is extruded polystyrene for something like this. It's... If you've watched any of my crafting videos, you've probably seen it. Sorry, that's condensed polystyrene. This is extruded. This is just your normal styrofoam. The stuff that if I were to break it here in half, it would just make a huge mess. So, we're gonna hopefully not do any of that today. Okay. Yeah, my T-square is in the garage. I'm not getting that. We're just gonna use a ruler. It's fine. And we switched over to the new side of our cutting mat. How exciting is that? I'm excited. Yo, Shadow, since I think you and I both talked about we've both been enjoying watching more people on Twitch, you should check out Feisty Claus sometime. Very chill 7 Days to Die stream earlier today. I was telling her same thing I told you, like I just started watching Twitch when I don't have anything else like new to watch. So basically I'm just watching Twitch instead of rewatching old TV shows. Am I muted? No, okay, good. Thank goodness. Okay, just marking this. That's so funny it wasn't chilled. Well, I mean, I don't know if you used ice. No, I am porting people around. Wait, what? Should I have? I think something may have just gotten lost in translation. I know American and Canadian doesn't really line up sometimes. But what? On EverQuest? Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, no, I just meant in general. Not right this second. should check out their streams. Okay, is everyone playing EverQuest but me? Yeah. Normally we would also use like a T-square for this, but again, this is kind of just a proof of concept, if you will. I guess I should measure this based off of the pipe, not the I just decided that it was going to be 3 inches by 3 inches, but then like it doesn't. Like, I don't know how long this is. Oh jeez, oh jeez. Okay. So we're going to make just a standalone piece. The other half wants to build scenery for his train sets. Well, this is actually a really good thing then for you to watch, because this is exactly where to start with it. Just extruded, well, not styrofoam, but the XPS foam. The this one, or the pieces that I have that are bigger or thicker are way too big to easily bring down. Yeah, this stuff. The difference between that stuff and like styrofoam is actually really cool. So for like building terrain and stuff, if you are to score this and snap it, look at the interior of this. This is basically just, yes, they're chemically different. Please, anybody, please, an expert, go correct me in the comments, because I care. This is basically this, but this has been thinking of potentially getting a leopard gecko shadow. I love lizards. I absolutely love lizards. I miss my bearded dragon a lot. As Vasa. Those are good. He's a pretty cool dude. So you can do this with a very sharp knife, but since I'm going to be doing a lot of this, I wanted to kind of get a good production going. My goal is I'll probably be making about 18 to 20 of these. If not, wait, no. Whatever that is times 2. 36 to 40 of these. Hot wire cutter. Yeah, leopard geckos are a really, really beginner lizard, so that's a really good one. If you're on about red dragons, I want a bearded dragon. I used to love my bearded dragon. He's a pretty cool dude. Alrighty. Just kind of quick and dirty. Zoop. That works. Okay. Alright, the more complex part. It's going to be cutting this little hole. Let's guesstimate center here. Hey! I need that. Wait, Delmice, that's not a, nice type, dang it. First round I was like, you know, you're not. Oh, yeah, I mean, leopard gecko, like, yeah. If you came to me and you said that you were looking to get something like a chameleon, I would beg you on my knees to say, just don't. Because you're going to go to the vet a lot, and it's not because you're not doing a good job, it's just because you're going to go to the vet a lot for a chameleon. Just the nature of that animal in captivity. Alright, cool. So this will need to be thicker. That's a good note, actually. I know this is going to need to be thicker, so it's not going to fit in there quite right? And how thick is this? This is 1 1/4. Good deal. Alright, and this isn't going to be precise, but we're going to go ahead and turn this up. And then just very roughly cut out this semicircle. I guess I could have done that more carefully and slower, but it's been a while since I used this thing. Alright, cool. Badoosh. Cool. There's our interior. And then boom, this goes in there, like so. Dude, needs to be a little bit wider. Or does it? Because when I glue it... Big brain time? Big brain time, I think. Is the angle's right? There we go. Perfect. Okay. If you are interested in building like terrain stuff, check out Luke Talon YouTube channel. I think it's like model. Oh, what is the? Okay, I know his name. I think his. He's a legend in the hobby community. Oh, what is the name of his actual YouTube channel? I think he might have finally renamed it. Yeah, he finally renamed it to Luke Towan. 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 He does all kinds of really cool stuff. And you get to see his process from start to finish. And he does absolutely amazing work. And you get to see every single step. And even if you cut out half of his steps, you get really awesome stuff for your partner's terrain. Never thought about making a model train set. That'd be actually, I think that would be a fun project. Doing like HO scale type stuff. Because I always see stuff for a lot of the stuff that I actually buy, and a lot of the techniques that we use in like the miniature like model community, funny enough, were just rehashes of stuff that they've been doing for decades in the model train community. Oh, he can build this stuff for a change. Yeah, I'm gonna use the hot wire for this. I'll go ahead and ease up that angle a little bit. Being careful not to burn myself. The issue I came across here are these little ridges. Now, yeah, I could take out the Dremel, or I could file them down and sand them down, especially given that they're going to be entirely hidden, but I think this might just be easier. Just to have this in here like this, and then just fill it in. I think that would give a better sewer look. Yeah. Okay. So that one works. Don't like using the expanded styrofoam though. We need a little base for this, don't we? Yeah, we do. Let's grab. Well, not wood. That'd be little. That's a little extra. Yeah, chipboard's a little extra too. We'll grab. There we go. This is even better. The other kind of chipboard. And we're going to unplug this. You sound better than me, though, by the way. Oh, we'll just practice. I mean, I do a lot of terrain stuff. Now, if you asked me to do almost any other arts and crafts that wasn't like model related or, hobby related, you'd have me off to the races. But I have been exclusively doing this stuff with almost all my free time. Cheers. Sound better than me, though, by the way, voice-wise. I didn't know that you sounded bad with your voice. I liked your voice. I was watching your stream earlier today. Or, actually, I'm intimately aware of your voice because I was actually listening to it for most of the day. But that could be because I do talk a lot more on my day-to-day. I actually talk a lot for my day job on the phone, so that could be it a little bit too. Alright. So normally I would be doing this stuff at the other desk, and I have a separate power strip for this, so you guys are going to need to have a little bit of a warm-up time in between device usage here. Because we have to wait for the hot glue gun here. Ah, my wife sent me a video. I wonder what it's a video of. Ah, it is my puppy getting a bath. He's like 7 months old. This is probably I think this is probably maybe only the second time he's ever actually been in the bath. It's pretty cute. In the meantime, let's see. Let's make this just like a super generic, like 5 inches long. All right. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Yeah. 5 inches by whatever this width is. I love that puppy so much. There you go, it's a little bit of the chipboard. I like to only ever measure off of the manufactured edges and corners, and I like to assume those are 90. And then use a right edge from there, if I have one long enough. So that's another pic to send you. Yes, send me pictures of your animals. Do it. Do it. And Shadow, why did you suddenly want to do a leopard gecko? I'm curious because I know how much you love dinosaurs and stuff, and lizards are basically just dinosaurs. So I feel like that's something that you would have wanted to get into. I mean, caring for reptiles would have been something you'd gotten into a long time ago. Oh, which lizard tuber were you watching? I follow a couple. Always easier to start at the end of the cut here. Nice sharp blade. And what I'm doing here is I'm creating a base for this little structure, because this is for part of the video. I'm trying to make these modular so that people that play D&D can connect them together, and they will also have a grid on them for like Dungeons and Dragons things. And obviously, once I get more things figured out, I will get more things figured out. But for now, I just need something to attach all the pieces to. And this is chipboard. It's kind of like a little bit thicker than cereal cardboard. And it's porous though, so you have to be careful because it will still warp. That's why I brought out the hot glue gun, because it will hopefully prevent warping. Whereas if you use like a bunch of PVA glue, when you add all that moisture into something, it ends up warping. So if I were going to use PVA glue on this polystyrene, on the styrofoam, it would end up warping and doing like one of these on me. Anyway, obviously we can't use super glue because if you add super glue to styrofoam, it melts it. So I do kind of like the idea of using the styrofoam or the pink foam as opposed to this packaging foam, because as I'm looking at this, I can easily tear away what I need, or take a sharp knife, or just even like my hot wire cutter, like my hand one, and tidy this up as I need to. I might actually just need to sand these down, this groove. It's causing me grief. Or just make the whole thing a little bit shorter. And have that end stick out so that you can actually connect them with the tubes. Actually, that would actually be pretty cool. Hold up. If we did that, and cut it like here. Hold up. That would actually be pretty cool. Oh my god. How new is this knife? Not very? Alright, we're gonna try it anyway. Carefully throw this away. Ugh. Because if this fits in just like that, yeah, and then you can use the connecting pieces that came like with the hamster thing to actually connect the whole thing, the whole system together. I'm a big fan of that. That's actually really a cool idea here. So let's go ahead and grab this one as well. Yeah, I think pink foam is going to be the best material to use this. All this styrofoam I'll have to figure out a different use for. I got a water. I said goodnight to my wife when I went upstairs when I was setting this up. Aha, water. Alright, cool. So we've successfully shortened this. Perfect. Yeah, that end kind of looks like garbage. We'll fix that. Cool. I dig that. Alright, let's get these guys glued down. And then actually, it's perfect that we have this little ledge there, that little gap, because, yeah, there we go. It just works. And we still have a little bit of a gap here that we can fill or we can do something with. That's a little too big of a gap. We're going to push this in a little bit now. Like so. Oh, just gonna grab. This isn't a machinist block. This is actually a jewelry anvil. So, it's just something to brace our stuff up against. A Dawn fan? If you like baby elephants, Pokemon Go! Alright. Screw it. We're just gonna get one glued down at a nice 90 degree. Are you doing stuff yet? Yeah, you are. And being careful not to burn ourselves too much. Do you have a mini hammer? For the jewelry, for the stamping, yes, I do. Well, it's not a hammer, it's a plastic mallet. You want to use a plastic mallet because when you actually, what you do is something like this. It's used for when you're doing jewelry and you're taking a, like on sterling silver or like silver, and you take these little stamps essentially and you whack it on there. Creates little designs, patterns, words, whatever have you, keychains on strips of metal. So I have a, you use a plastic mallet because it's the same as the leather working that I used to do. Yeah, stamps, use a plastic mallet because those, if you use like a normal, like a 16-ounce framing hammer or something like that, as I learned from many years of leather working, you will eventually just turn your stamps inside out. But that could just be me being a little bit paranoid, because you don't use a stamp quite as many times as you do with like leather working. Like I'll use a tool hundreds of times when I was doing like rivlets for armor, or like when I was doing journals was the #1 thing that I probably sold and made the most of. Doing those, lots and lots and lots of sewing lines. So go ahead and grab a lighter and just get that a little bit smoother. There we go. I guess that is one of the benefits to using styrofoam. For this will be that. Alright, cool. Okay. Just eyeballing everything still. Get a little bit of hot glue on yourself. Make sure to roll it away. Don't try and just pick it off. Alright, cool. Alright, yeah, 100%. I'm gonna do this with all this, the pink foam. This is already getting a lot more messy than I want it to be for a crafting video. Because I do like normal stuff like this, guys, but then I also I like those edited videos to be really clean. Oh, Shadow. I didn't show you the newest crafting video thing. It's gonna be the creation of this. Wait, let me turn it on. This. This was a little lantern, so I made it into a little cave. I removed all the insides with the little candle and stuff. I added the light, a bunch of other stuff, and then my sister-in-law is going to be putting a little figure in there for her boyfriend. Girlfriend? No, boyfriend. Jesus. Every time. Yeah, I made that for them. Oh, did the light not go on last time? It might have been really hard to tell too. But yeah, it's got a little light in there. But yeah, I have all the footage, and after tonight's stream, if I don't end up playing some video games, I will be perfect. Doing that. Oh, this hole's plugged. Okay. Perfect. Oh, this hole is plugged because we're going to be adding water to this. Why do I have a glove on still? Ugh. Oh, glove hand smell. You gotta love it. Alright, cool. Done there. Yeah, come on, Wispies. Ugh. Ugh. Go away. Just go into the trash. Just go into the ground here. Alright, cool. There is that. Done and dusted. Now we need to seal the styrofoam portion of our build. But before we do that, I will clean up this edge here. Yeah, how's your hand healing up there actually, Shadow? No residual complications with that outpatient surgery? Ugh. Garbage. That garbage can is getting pretty full. Alright, time to seal this baby. Seal it, baby. Alright, and then we're gonna put the hot glue gun away. And yes, it is going away pretty warm, but that's why we use a metal filing cabinet. I am semi-aware of what I'm doing. Ooh, it could be cobblestone. Okay, no, stop. Yeah, what'd you do to your hand, Shadow? It's not like catty. This is what I need. I've just been staring over my shoulder. Okay, wait. Oh, that puppy is ready for bed. And my wife is doing some stuff around the house. So he is. That's my it's my work desk that I just set up temporarily out in the house in the kitchen area, and he is pouting because he wants to be in bed, and we're not in bed. Or Anna's still doing stuff, I guess. See, Appa is so close to being just a phenomenal little canine citizen, but he's still very young and he still has a lot to learn. Lots of puppy things still happen, which is okay. He's still just a puppy after all. Now let's get a garbage cup here. So we're gonna seal this. We're gonna seal this thing with the special Mod Podge and black paint, and a little bit of Floaid and acrylic ink that we have, just to seal the foam, kind of harden the whole project. It adds like a, yeah, just like Mod Podge. So adds a protective layer over everything. But it's literally just watered down glue. You could do this with just, I mean, okay, Mod Podge is just watered down PVA glue. Yeah, my old dog was, how old is Basil? 14 or 15? Put him down this October. Yeah, and then we got Appa. My wife made it one day, I believe, and then she was like, hey, I know we said we wanted to wait a little bit, but here's a dog that's like literally across the street, like less than a mile from our house, that needs a home today. And I was like, oh my god, he's so cute. Okay, fine. Let's go. Alright. Normally I use comically large brushes for this, like this, or like this. But that's a little too big for something like this. So, yeah, there is our special Mod Podge. Pretty much just is going to act like a primer. A little bit of water here. And then just paint it over here. Making sure to get it in all of the nooks and crannies. You have to pay a little bit more attention when you're doing this with expanded polystyrene, because it's much more vulnerable to chemicals and aerosol, propellants, etc. than the pink foam that we might normally use for this. I'm sorry to hear that. I wish we had. We got Basil when he was old. We got our old dog when he was already 10. And his previous owner had passed away, and the vet that was, his previous owner took him to the vet, had to kennel him, and then she passed away. So unfortunately, we never really got to train Basil, I would say. When we got him, he was really, really depressed. And we dealt with a lot of behavioral issues, like, I mean, he was incontinent, but also he had never been potty trained by his previous owner, because she was old. So, like, he didn't like going outside. He just genuinely did not like going outside. Hated it. You'd have to pick him up and drag him. It's pretty cute. But yeah, I like having a dog that we get to train. But I do miss my little buddy. I love terriers. Wait, why are yours boring then? No puppy is boring. Oh, yin and yang dogs. One white, one black. That's fun, actually. See, what we're going to do is, in a few years, we are going to get Appa. That's the name of my puppy. We are going to get him a puppy. Because in a few years, we will have bought a new house with a nice big yard, etc. The house we have now does not have a very large yard, which is why we got a senior dog in the first place, too. Because he wasn't going to be, like, just going out. But we're just going to get him a puppy. Did a lot of research on it because I was a little bit nervous. But apparently it's actually a really smart thing to do. It's like when your dog's like 2 or 3, just basically just get them a little mini-me. Someone to play with, someone that they can teach how to be a good boy, etc. Have as a best friend. Especially if you both work full-time out of the house, like my wife and I do. Well, this is all going to get covered, I believe. So I'm just doing a real rough coat here in this inside area too. Yeah, we're running out of places to hold this. Okay, cool. Hey, Excalibur there. Both the last litter about a month apart. Okay. Yeah, I mean that works too. We actually, my wife is hilarious. She has never gotten a dog that wasn't a runt of some kind. like the newest one we just got, Appa. We didn't know he was a runt. We got him at like 3 months old. Definitely was malnourished when we got him, but we got him. And so he was definitely going to be a little bit underweight because of that. But then on top of that, like the vet was like, yeah, he's a little bit of a runt. It's adorable. Hey, I caught an Excalibur. I don't even know what that is. Okay, cool. So this is the thing that I said needs to dry, and it needs to dry. We basically just covered this in a very thin layer of glue and paint, just to kind of toughen up the foam a little bit. And that needs to dry. I know it's a Pokemon. I have no idea what it is. And also, let's be honest, some Pokemon are just normal everyday objects. So, another pipe. I'm just gonna spray paint silver. Boom. It's a knight with a javelin. 2 javelin, okay. Shadow, hit me up to play video games tomorrow after I get off work. Also, my schedule is going to change, so you and I are going to get to hang out more. Pretty soon I'm going to be getting off work every single day at 7 p.m. Eastern, our time zone, on Monday through Thursday, and I'll be off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, well, I guess the stream schedule is definitely going to have to change. I'm going to have to run it less late, and also, we're going to play more. And lots of League of Legends. Okay, so this... Oh, wow, that handful is always heavier than I think it is. This is gonna go away. Go over there. If you have that game, we're definitely gonna play some League together. I play a lot of League. Shadow's been getting me into the 5v5 mappies almost exclusively. I played ARAM before I met Shadow and Josh and them. Well, before Shadow was talking to me about playing on Summoner's Rift. And yeah, I love playing games with Shadow and other people. We'll have to play. And I'll have to figure out streaming video games. Which I don't think it should be too hard. I've screen captured before. Feisty, what do you stream with? Do you use OBS or... I actually just uninstalled Teamfight Tactics on my phone because I can't play it on my phone. I get very, very distracted on my phone. Or like I'll be doing something and I'll be playing a game and I don't have like the X number of minutes it takes to play a full game of Teamfight Tactics. I'll have like half the time and then I'll be like, shit, I gotta do this other thing. Yes, we'll play some Teamfight Tactics on PC. Well, doesn't that just pit us against each other then? Or do we collude to see if we can try and score really high? I mean, not score really high, place really high in the game. Because I'm down for some collusion. Ugh. Kick this box. They do teams now in beta. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I think I literally uninstalled the game day before yesterday on my phone. Oh man. What do we want to paint next? Let's see. Who we got? We have 6 viewers. 6 viewers? Oh, wait, that's not right. Are these all people? Yeah, these are all people, guys. Oh boy. There's a lot of people here. Actually, 6 is probably the highest number of viewers I've ever had. Hello, everybody that's actually watching and listening. Hi. It's so awesome to have you in here. A little bit nervous now because I've kind of been putzing around. That's kind of dry, so we're not going to be able to touch that for a while. And I guess I'll leave it up to chat. I guess I should check the YouTube chat. Nothing. Good. No one ever makes any comments on YouTube. Don't go to my YouTube and start trying to chat with me there because I'm gonna miss your comment. But what do we want to paint next? Do we want to paint a RPG hero or a monster? Does anyone have any opinions? I have both ready right over here to the left. It's entirely up to you. I'm picking hot glue off of my desk as we talk. No opinions from anybody? Alright, cool. Well then. I hate making decisions, so we're going to go heads and tails. And we're going to say heads is a monster, and tails is a hero. Tails, hero. Cool. Go work on this dragon guy. Shadow is probably... Shadow usually says bye and then immediately passes out, but I will make sure to pass your name to him. And I will add you right now, a little feisty. Well, let's make sure we're actually on the same servers too. Because I recently went to add a friend that is in Europe and learned that we were on different servers, so we couldn't. And if I'm going to play with European folks, I might just need to make an EU account. No, I don't care. I don't. Shh. I'm gray tier. Thanks, League of Legends. Alright. Friends, add friend. Little feisty. Yeah, okay. Are you on the North American servers or are you on EU server? Because that is going to be an issue. We can't actually even add each other as friends if you're on the EU server. I might need to make a European server account. I don't even know how to do that. I'll have to figure that out. If you go to your friends list, or like the people, or like you find anybody here, I'll share my screen. So, if you go to like any of your friends, and you go to one of their names right here, say NA1, because CVamp is on the North American server, and obviously so am I. And yes, I'm sure there's an easier way to figure that out. But yeah, right there actually. You go to your profile. Ugh. If you hover over it, you can see right here, NA1, right underneath my name, EUW. Yeah, I need to make a European account so I can play with people like you and Cyber and them. Oh, you probably couldn't even see my screen. Oops. Yeah, I need to make some European accounts to play with y'all. I'll let Shadow know as well. But I can't even add you on there. You just don't even show up as a player. Yeah, especially given that Shadow and I are pretty much night owls. Actually, this is the earliest I've ever seen Shadow go to bed. Crazy. Crazy. I need to not accidentally use this water. It's got a bunch of glue in it. And this is a guy that I've just been painting up a little bit for fun. It's a dragon. Hand behind hair. This is a dragonborn mage. Nothing crazy. I've just been... Oh, I was really, really sick, as many of you know. I was really, really sick, and this is what I got done in the 2 weeks that I was very sick. Was a kind of halfway decent paint job on this guy so far. So we're going to clean up some stuff, and we're going to finish him. And I think I finished up a couple of commissions as well. Alright, let's grab a paintbrush. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. I know that to me, my halfway decent job that isn't actually all that good is absolutely amazing to people that don't paint miniatures as much as I do. So I shouldn't self-deprecate that so much, but thank you. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get this like this. Okay. Alright, so in terms of cleanup, let's do cleanup afterwards. Let's get some more colors down here. We have to paint his scabbard, his sword hilt, that scroll thingy, these down here, and this will need cleaned up and probably just repainted in its entirety. It's a little staff thing he's got. I just wanted to get some color on it. So, first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and get some skeletal bone. It's like my color of the week. Down on this side of this satchel. A little bit of a highlight. And right here we overpainted with that green. Touch that up a little bit. Yeah. There we go. Alrighty. Just kind of make that look a little bit less. I don't even know what that Pokemon is. Azuelios. Ah, that's your name. There we go. Okay, cool. Scabbard, I want to do in a dark bronze. So let's go ahead and grab. No, I don't. I like the little details that are going on there. So I'm gonna do that in a different color. I'm gonna do that in a contrast color, actually. Let's go with Terran turquoise. Contrast paints are super great. I haven't talked about them yet today, and in case this is anyone's first time watching my stream, and they haven't heard me talk about contrast paints every other time I've used them, they're basically just shaders. But they're paint that's been thinned down a lot, and that has been chemically designed, to have lower tension, so that they seep down into cracks and recesses, and you get free skins for LOL for 2 from Prime. I need to link my Prime account to my whatchamacallit then, for sure. Oh god. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the paints are thin, so they seep into recesses and glaze over raised areas. I've never linked it. I'll tell you why though. It's probably because it's linked to my wife's. My wife and I, obviously, we're married. We share everything. After 7 years, I don't have my own Prime account. It's linked to her Prime account. Yes, my wife does give me my the only 2 subs that I have are Shadow's Prime sub and my own Prime sub every month. Yes. Those are the Prime subs I do get. There's a few people that I subscribe to on Twitch, and maybe not all of them need to be subscribed to anymore. Let's see here. Oh, this paint is going to bring out all that detail. Finish it. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, now you can see all the details on the scabbard there. Whereas before it probably just looked like a plain white scabbard. She made... No, my wife is absolutely the best person in the world. So, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Incredibly supportive. No, I could never ask her to actually watch one of my streams in a million years. Because this is not her hobby. Even a little bit. And she actually recently learned, since I started doing Twitch, she's been paying more attention to like Twitch, because a lot of the people that she watches on YouTube also do like Twitch, like Moist Critical. She's not a huge fan of people's live content. She's a much bigger fan of like video essays, things like that. Alright. Yep, there we go. So again, you can see this. It kind of just looks like white noise. We're going to go ahead and add contrast paint here. There we go. And get some detail. Now the difference between a contrast paint like the Pterodon Turquoise and something like this Plague Bearer's Flesh is Pterodon Turquoise is very, very strong paint. Pterodon Turquoise is not. So you can really see the white there poking through. We'll fix that with the second coat here in a second. There we go. Yeah, there we go. A little bit more of a scabbard figured out. We'll go ahead and give him a nice gold hilt. Let's go ahead and switch to our more detailed brush. Alright, I'm trying to figure out what's what here. Now normally when I paint with gold, I've said it many times, it's usually best to undercoat with brown. But when you're doing something this precise, usually not necessary. And you'll just end up making mistakes. Either on the initial brown coat, or on follow-up visits with the gold. go ahead and outline. It'll still be a little bit too wet for this, but add a little bit of a pop to the edge of that medallion thing. And then the wraps on his handle. Basically, I'm going to take this white and I'm just going to touch this up a little bit. It's got a lot of green on it now. I also just realized this guy has like 3 weapons. He's a spellcaster. It's a lot, dude. That should be green. Vallejo green blue. The red-headed stepchild of Vallejo blue green. And this is just going to go right in here. And then we'll add the gold right here. Needs to be a darker green. I believe this was done in the orc flesh, so we're going to actually use this. Some of the water out of our paintbrush because we want to be using mostly the medium here. Don't need a lot of extra moisture from our own water here. There we go. And we managed not to paint on the handle, which is nice. Every single time you've heard me say in the past, like, don't worry if you overpaint a little bit. This is why. We're just going through here, correcting all these spots where we overpainted. All of our paint's just out in our palette. See that? Not a big stress. Just gonna go back and forth as many times as we need to. Okay. Now for the scroll itself. Just gonna go ahead and use strong tone. That's flesh wash. That's soft tone, strong tone. Now this is a quick shade wash, but we're gonna use it kind of like a paint, so we're just gonna go ahead and put a little bit on our palette here. I'm gonna spread it out a little bit. And go ahead and just apply that right there, like so. Now for that wrap there on the handle, I want this to be a little bit yellowy, I think. No, let's go with Agrax Earthshade. I don't usually use the Citadel shaders. They're a really, really popular product. They came out with the contrast paint line, and I just kind of use those. But these 100% have their place. Damn it. I'm gonna take another layer there. Ah, it's really blurry, I know. Ta-da! But there we go, we're getting there. The reason I said damn it was this happened. That's why I hate these bottles. It's very difficult to undo that little mistake right there. Ugh. And no, I will never transfer these into the dropper bottles. That's just a waste of my time. Okay. Let's grab a little bit of silver and add that in with our strong tone here. Let's make this scroll a little silvery. Add a little pizzazz. And then of course a little bit of metallic blue, never hurt nobody. There we go. And there's our little scroll thing. Alright, let's go ahead and do a little bit of highlights here on the scabbard. Again, we're going to go to a nice bright, vibrant color. And this is going to be a simple like little edge highlight here. Using the edge of our brush. Just going to go ahead and go down the line there. Just on the outside edge though. And then let's go ahead and accentuate whatever these are. Highlight it a little bit more. There we go. I want that to stand out a little bit more. There we go. I like that, okay. Let's do his ankle thingies here. What did I do with those? I did those in Basilicalum Gray, I believe. Might as well stick with that. Oh, wild snow. Chopstick here. Ugh. Hydrate. Ugh. Alright, so. Oh, wow. It's really dry down here. I actually just picked out a nice humidifier for the house. It's very, very dry. Like all the day before yesterday, I just had a nosebleed like all day. It was off, super fun. Now, if this was a model that I had assembled and didn't come pre-assembled, or that I did in like a sub-assembly, I think I would kind of have a lot of fun doing something fun with these anklets, like the inside of the cloak and stuff, but that is the one downside to getting these pre-assembled and pre-primed miniatures. Yes, they are cheap. This guy was just a couple of bucks. $6, and you got 2 male dragonborn sorcerers. But that's the downside. Trades. Okay. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of dark tone here down by the feet. Especially on the little toesies. Actually, no, his toesies need to be cleaned up first. A little bit of white. It's gonna be too damp there. Dang it. How thin is this white paint? That's pretty thin. Oops, sorry. Painting over there in the chat. There we go. Good too. I'm not going to bother with his nails. One of them is on the staff here, and the other one is going to be hidden by the spell effect, which is this. So this guy actually has this right in front of him here. I just detached it to make painting him a little bit easier. So we're going to color that separately. Then I actually have a project that's going to involve my airbrush and a lot of translucent paints, and I'll paint this in like a nice color shift or something. Yellow to green or something like that. Yeah, yellow to orange. Okay, getting there. Can still see some of the green there. So what we're going to do is just boom, second coat. Just like so. Alright, here's the big part. We have a staff here, and another weapon right here, both of which I painted in this color. Obviously, we don't want them both to be the same. I think the number of things on this model is a little excessive. Most of the WizKids aren't quite this bad about it. Like, for example, here's the rogue. You know, a bow and arrow that they're not using, and quiver with arrows, and they're doing a spell. And they have like knives on their belts, I guess. I mean, like on their thigh. This guy has a scimitar and belt accessories. More belt accessories over here. A staff of some kind. A spell effect. As well as a staff of some kind and a rod of some kind. This thing right in here. There's just a lot going on with this guy. So we're going to make him a follower of green dragons. Hence the green robes. Or no, that doesn't make sense lyrically, does it? If he is, because I'd like it to be a metallic dragon. If possible. Making copper. Just like him. I like that. Those 2 copper. So we'll make his rod of the copper dragon. And for that, we'll just go ahead and grab some weapon bronze. Also, anyone watching, let me know what you want to see painted. If you have like something that you're into, let me know. I'll see if there's models for it. There usually is. And we can get something going. Okay. See, whenever you start to feel a little bit stressed, about your paint area being a little cluttered, just make yourself a little deal that every time you grab one paint, you'll put 2 back. And then look at that. You don't need to take time to clean up your whole area. You can just kind of do it as you go. Need to figure out a way to get this cup on screen for Xenos. There we go. It's actually been a little bit better. That'll force me to stop. Painting off screen. Yeah, either there. Alright, so we're gonna make this staff of the copper worm. Sorry, the rod of the copper worm. I guess this is bronze. Which is actually the color kind of that I painted him, so that works out either way. That's gonna ignore that undercoat of green. It's fine. Easy peasy right here. Done. Oops, almost dropped the bottle. It happens. Ah. All right. Let's go ahead and paint the other end of this. I'm having a lot of issues with focus. I keep seeing it go in and out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and back this camera up a little bit here. This just looks like bone and rope. Wow, I really don't like that staff. I want to like this model more than I do, because it's such a cool idea and concept, and just I want to like it more than I do. That's okay though. Alrighty, cool. So that's rope. That's fine. For this area right in here, let's go ahead and darken that up with a wildwood. And that's gonna be okay. We'll try it. Just controlling the amount of paint we have right there. Wipe some of that away. There we go. Alright, cool. And then grab a little bit of white here. Mix it with a little bit of our skeletal bone, kind of like our pseudo off-white. Gonna go ahead and get a nice little highlight color that we make here. And we're gonna highlight some of these strands of the rope. Or they're just kind of like the top of it, like so. And that way we can just kind of make it look more like rope. Now for the bronze itself, we're going to add a little bit of depth to it with some Gorgrunts of Fur. We're going to go ahead and we're going to water that down just a little bit though, with a little bit more contrast medium. What this is going to do is it's kind of tone down the color a little bit. So we're just going to grab about a 1-to-1 here. And I am using contrast medium and not glaze medium or something like that. Just because I happen to have this. You could use glaze medium for this. Alright, there we go. Show it there. Yeah, that's about right. We'll grab this, and then we'll go ahead and slather it over this to kind of bring out our details. Genuinely, one of my favorite color combinations in all of miniature painting, this right here, is Gorgrunts of Fur over yellow tones like gold and bronze, copper. Genuinely love it. And you can see the difference in that dragon now. It's a little shiny because we just applied a paint to it. But yeah, there we go. Alrighty, good deal, good deal, good deal. Okay. Staff time. So the staff is looking good. We're gonna go ahead and touch up a couple spots where the green got painted onto it by mistake. It's just some skeletal horde bones, sorry. Basically the whole thing looks like it's just a singular stick that's been wrapped in wood, but you can't actually see the stick. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. But I do see a tiny little bone thingy sticking out. We're going to grab that right now. Make that nice and bright for now. Same with these. Let's go ahead and lighten these up. Now here's an example where we don't really need full coverage because we're actually going to be bringing this paint almost exactly to where we're covering it up from now. Some water. I like this little spot right here, these little horns. I don't need that to be perfectly white, so just one thin coat of white. Get this in focus here. This is exactly what I need. Okay. So my first instinct would be to use a skeletal word on it, but I think that would end up making it look just like the staff and the rod robe. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I am going to use dark tone. Or I guess I could use like maybe null oil? Yeah, we'll use null oil. There's a lot. The detail in there is really fine. I'd have to water down the Army Painter Strong Tone anyway. So let's go ahead and grab some of this. And this is really cool. It's kind of like contrast paint to the max. And all that variation in like those places where we did touch-ups and stuff, it's actually going to be what makes something like this look pretty good. Because it's going to add variation and depth. So yeah, let's bring out all those little details. That's exactly what we need. We need all of our little details back, please. That's fine. Okay. Alrighty. Let's grab our bronze over here. Let's add a little bit of greedy gold to it. Like that. Okay. Do some highlights here on his face. Kind of like here on the ridges. Just the most raised areas there. Nothing crazy here. And then eyes. Dragonborn eye color. I'm gonna look that up. And the reason I look stuff like this up sometimes when I'm painting D&D models is because some people really, really like to be canon with it. And it doesn't take long for me to just go and look it up. Various shades of red or gold. Alright. Let's go ahead. Do a little bit of a crushed sore red eye here. Okay, let's kind of brace ourselves. And where's our eye? There. Okay, there we go. And there's our face with a little bit of highlights and stuff in it. So now you can see he kind of looks like a little bit more metallic-y. I like that. Some highlights along there with the shadows. And then he also has some... Looks like he actually has a bracer that I just breezed right over and went ahead and painted like it was part of his skin. This right here. I don't know what else is on his arms there. I'm gonna ignore that, but I will paint these clearly handcrafted items. Silver. Like they're bracelets of some kind. Alrighty. And then another little bracelet thingy. Okay, there we are. Now I've painted some bracelets on him. Kind of broken up the scales a little bit. I think there we go. We need to paint. I'll probably get the inside of his cloak with like an angled brush or something later. But we will take this strong tone and go ahead and paint these bones. Ta-da. Good deal, good deal, good deal. Okay. Neat. Alright, I'm gonna stick this back on here, just because I will forget where it is, or something like that. Just lightly though. And there we go. Yeah. For tonight, we're gonna call him Good Enough. I'm gonna do some edge highlighting on the cloak. Like on that blue area. All that blue trim needs to be highlighted a little bit. And then obviously his base needs painted. But for now, we're gonna call this one done. For at least for here on the stream. Trying to see if we have anybody to raid. I think I am about to call it a night for streaming purposes. I'm not seeing anybody. Let's see if we got anyone on any of the Discord channels doing stuff. Let's go ahead and find somebody. see, who do I got in here? Looks like I got no one that I really recognize. So we're just gonna see if we can find a hobby channel or something. Categories. Sorry, I was having a lot of trouble finding the category thing. I believe everyone here are lurkers, so let's see who we have to raid. Let's see if we can find someone that doesn't have a lot of people. Okay, well here we go. Got some D&D channels that are live. Actually, I think I'm going to start doing this more often, trying to find a good small D&D channel for us to raid. That is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, wait. So many good options. There's so many people that play D&D on Twitch, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh, jeez. Yes, you are definitely going to be part of this stream here. I'm going to raid with you and a bunch of my lurkers. And continue working on this stuff off screen. Probably I'll continue painting tonight. I got a bunch more to do. But I'm kind of just at the end of my talking through everything phase of the night. Okay, cool. Let's just find here. Let's see. It's tough. Oh, here's one. Our second D&D stream. Looks like a homebrew. With only one person on the camera. I like the whole talking head show. I don't even know if that worked. It did. Okay. Oh, this is perfect. These guys are even using D&D models. Oh no, okay, never mind. Their stream is not PG. Alright. I've spent too much time doing this. Just gonna go here. One-year anniversary, session 60. Let's go ahead and go forth. We're going to raid here. We're going to raid them. Everyone, make sure to join the raid. I hope you all have a great rest of your night.